Hi. Hi, my name is Mario Solis. I'm a student from America's High School, from Mr. Nolasco's engineering class, and this is my engineering project. So, a little bit of overview on my project. My project will be focusing on trying to design an improved motorcycle suit design that will protect the vital organs and limbs of a motorcyclist in the event of a crash. As many of you already know, motorcycle accidents aren't exactly pretty and could be preventable in many situations. Our project's goal is to lower the rate of motorcycle death and injuries significantly. My element A project statement, or problem statement, my bad. Every year there is an increase in the amount of motorcycle accidents on U.S. roads. In fact, motorcyclists represent 1% of traffic, yet account for up to 20% of the deaths and serious injuries on our roads. In 2016, there were 5,286 deaths and over 88,000 injured in the United States. Motorcyclists risk their lives day to day when driving on the road and increase these rates when driving at night. Distracted driving and not being aware of your surroundings are only some of the causes of these accidents. So this is my statistics for my problem.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna interrupt real quick. The PowerPoint is not changing the slides.
Hold on.
There you go. Okay. Okay, continue.
Okay. Um, did you see my statement?
No.
Okay. Well, there's my statement.
Okay, you can continue to your statistics.
Okay. So my statistics. My first statistics is motorcycle helmets. So obviously, motorcycle helmets save lives. In 2019, 70.8% of all motorcyclists in the United States wear a helmet. And some states requires riders to wear helmets, like California and the District of Columbia. But in some states, it's only required for people under the age of 18, like Arizona. And a study shows that in 2017, approximately 1,872 lives were saved by the use of motorcycle helmets. My next statistic is speed. Speeding is a problem among a lot of motorcyclists. In 2016, it was proven that at least 2,793 fatalities happened due to speeding on weekdays during between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And another 2,481 fatalities were recorded during the weekends between the same times of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. My third statistic is engine size. If you're not familiar with motorcycles, they vary in size, and this is a contributing factor to fatalities. In 2016, the most fatalities recorded per engine size for the engine size of 501 to 1000, which had 1,959 fatalities, and the least fatalities were recorded with engine sizes of up to 500, which is the smallest engine size, and the biggest engine sizes go for 1,501 and higher, and that had the second lowest fatalities at
Question:
419.
What kind of unit? What units are you using for those numbers?
Um,
Are
I
they like CCs or?
I'm actually not sure. I didn't check that. I got this
Okay.
statistic from one of my sources, which is the traffic safety data for 2016, and it carried the engine sizes there. So I just proceeded to use that as a part of the data.
Okay.
My fourth statistic is alcohol. A big problem to motorcyclists are drivers who are intoxicated. In 2016, a total of 4,950 motorcyclists were killed due to drunk drivers. For motorcyclists, visibility is very limited with how small their vehicle is, and visibility for drunk drivers is even more limited than what a motorcycle can be. So that's not very good. Um, for my fifth statistic, road safety. Road safety for a motorcyclist is almost always disregarded. Many people know the saying, look once for cars and twice for motorcycles. And although this is a very true statement, it cannot be assumed that everybody does this on the road. And you can find so many YouTube videos of motorcyclists being cut off by road rage or by people who just don't even see them. And a lot of these videos just don't end well. Um, there's countless amounts. The limits on solutions for my project. Well, there's one limit on the solution would be the motorcycle helmets. Motorcycle helmets, they keep getting innovative and they're becoming more technical. They're starting to have Bluetooth and you can be able to call with them, and that's just gonna keep contributing to distracted driving. Um, but also simply making it a law in some states will save more lives, but not enough lives, as your helmet's not going to protect your body. And this goes for drunk driving as well, since drunk driving is illegal, but many motorcyclists always fall to drunk drivers. As for speed and road safety, these can only be enforced by the DPS. I say this because although we have speed limit signs, not everybody follows the speed limit, especially motorcyclists. Road safety as well, it should be enforced by the people in charge, which is the DPS. Engine size is also a limit on the solution, as the severity of the crash may vary on the size of the engine, and therefore it's also needed to have a better motorcycle suit. For my element B, my current and past solutions. So this is a past solution of a motorcycle suit that tried to protect the body. It protects the skin as a pro. It attempts to shield the body's bones and vitals. I guess, headwear right here. It basically what it does is that it goes right here, if I can pinpoint it. And basically what it does is that it covers your head and your back when it signals a crash, and therefore it like cushions you. That's why I put it applies cushion in incident situations. But the cons are it's really big and bulky, as you can see, and it doesn't look comfortable. And as well, along with that, it looks pretty heavy than it should be. Um, so this overall, this is a decent design, but it wouldn't be practical, and people wouldn't wear it since it's not comfortable, and since it looks pretty heavy and it's big and bulky. This is another past solution where they tried to make a vented motorcycle suit that will allow the rider to not be like part of the impact. It's more so like the rider would it's like I don't I'm forgetting my words. So basically what this one did was that when it experienced a crash, the ventilation of the suit should have um basically made you like lighter than the motorcycle, and therefore the motorcycle would hit the car first and then you would go behind the motorcycle. And although it's a suit, it's not going to protect you. um I put for pros that it protects the skin. It looks slightly comfortable. It looks a bit slimmer than the last design, and this one also has removable sleeves for comfort. But in the event of a crash, removable sleeves wouldn't really help you. The cons, it doesn't protect your vitals in a crash. It only makes it so that you are impacted less, and it only targets the upper body. It doesn't target your legs or your head. Um, and it doesn't apply any cushion in incident situations. So this wouldn't be an ideal design either. So this is my element C. For my stakeholders, I put the future users and customers of this product would be motorcyclists. Customers would want a simple but effective design for this product, a comfortable suit that will protect the customers from the danger of a crash. Not only that, but future features that customers wish for will be available for the product. As for the price, there is no set price yet. Current products such as pads or suits work well in protecting the rider, but in a lethal crash, they do not do enough. Um, the design requirements and justifications of my suit. Firstly, our product must prove useful in a crash. If the product cannot protect the rider, then it must be modified further. Another requirement should be that the suit must be comfortable and fit for a rider to be able to move just in case. The suit must provide some sort of cushion device, as many motorcyclists end up going flying or crushed in a lethal crash. And my constraints were the major elements that are holding us back are cost and materials. We do not know what the suit or cushion device should be made of yet. Therefore, we have no idea how much the suit will cost in the end. And access to tools to make the suit is also a big priority. And in conclusion, our product will take a lot of time and access to tools to complete. We must modify our product in order to prove useful to motorcyclists and worthy of a specific cost. And not only that, but hopeful our efforts will allow us to lower the amount of casualties from motorcycle crashes. And for my Element D prototype, this is my sketch of my motorcycle suit. Basically, it's gonna be like almost skin tight, but not really. It's gonna be breathable. These pads that you see here will be cushion devices, and these lines that you see here will be like sort of like hydraulic devices. And basically, this suit will basically have its like own software that if it detects that you leave the motorcycle, or if it detects that you're going too fast and you're not on the motorcycle, it will contract with using the hydraulics, putting you in a safe position, and the pads will then blow up with air and basically just leave you in a ball until it is safe for you to exit. Um, my Autodesk prototype, although it's not visually appealing, this is just the beginnings of my Autodesk prototype. I plan to make it more human-like, and then I plan to make it as well as with movable parts to show the mechanism in action, and hopefully try to animate it. And yes, this is how it's gonna look from this is the front and this is the back. This back portion right here is also a cushion. So basically, to give it into perspective, you would be in a safe position with all these pads blowing up in sync and therefore leaving you safe. And these are my sources for my project. Do you have any questions?
Um, Go to slide 13.
Okay.
So when it comes to prototype construction, what materials are you thinking of using to create the suit, and two, the patches that are supposed to deploy whenever you um, crash?
Well, for the suit, I am planning to use a material that is lightweight but also durable, but as well as it is comfortable to wear and flexible, since when you result in a crash, it's gonna flex the suit in order for you to get into a safe position. But as for the specific material, I do not know what I'm going to use yet. Um, for the patches, I was hoping to use something similar to like airbags, but using a mechanism that would blow them up quicker instead. Um, and these shouldn't be too bulky on the person. They should not bother them while they're riding the motorcycle, but at the same time, they should still prove their purpose.
So these airbags, I'm assuming they're single use. I mean, once the driver makes impact with anything, um, considering their construction, are they supposed to cushion the fall, or are they supposed to take most of the impact while popping, things like that? Um,
Well,
because, or go ahead.
yeah, yeah, you can go ahead and finish your question. Sorry.
Because if you consider how airbags for vehicles are used, the the propulsion of the airbag is what causes, or is what allows the airbag to absorb the impact of a driver. Um, and this happens in quite a fast paced environment. So what I'm saying is, when all of these airbags deploy, they're gonna make contact with rough surfaces.
Yes.
So how are you going to prevent, or is it part of the prototype's design that you take into account that they are going to explode if they impact, for example, the asphalt? They're supposed to take some impact or mitigate the impact while also being, in this case, single use because they might get destroyed.
Well, yes, for the patches are going to be single use not only because that's going to be a way easier mechanism to create, but it's also going to be cheaper for the suit. Um, but yes, the airbags are meant to take most of the impact. Um, Obviously, when they hit rough surfaces like asphalt and stuff, and perhaps even glass, if there is broken glass, which there might as well be if we're talking cars here. Um, if the airbags pop, it still should take most of the impact, and the motorcycle rider should leave with almost little to no injuries. That's what our goal is. Um, but it's anything's inevitable when it comes to crashes. You can't really predict them, so it's gonna take a lot of testing to see where these airbag mechanisms go.
Okay. Go to slide 9.
Okay.
Sorry, slide 8. These statistics, um, and this is a question in terms of what the rubric is asking. Um, these statistics do they fall under solutions, current or past solutions? Because from what it looks like, you're only presenting 2 current or past solutions. Or what role does these statistics play in your overall presentation?
My
Are they to justify your problem,
Yes,
or
these statistics are justifications of my problem.
okay? So, and in terms of your alternatives, go to slide 10. I'm
Okay.
assuming these are your alternatives that you might be using, or are these alternative solutions that um let's see.
Uh,
Because from what it looks like, you only have one solution, which is the one you're currently working on, which is on slide 13. But are you meant to have 2 other alternatives that you can fall back on if the one on slide 13 isn't a viable solution?
well, these aren't my alternate solutions. These are just the past and current solutions of what motorcycle suit technology is at. I don't have an alternative solution right now. This is just my only solution that I have on me. But I will definitely think on that one.
Okay, give me 1 second. Um, so this is a question on your construction. When it comes to your prototype, how would you intend to keep the patches on the suit? How do you intend to replace them? Um, Something that's lightweight, durable, and flexible, maybe you might consider because motorcyclists already use these. Leather jackets. Leather jackets have a really good tendency to protect motorcyclists from skin burns. Um, it might be a durable material that you can use. For the patches, um, the only issue I see with those patches is if one of them pops and doesn't mitigate the driver enough, you still might see considerable damage done to the driver. Would you consider implementing something within the patch, like for example, skateboard pads and things like that, like a hardened material that is a fallback for the patch in case it malfunctions, in case it doesn't deploy, and on top of the fact that if the airbag doesn't deploy, then you still have a secondary um, device. And the only reason I suggest is because you're drawing, like for example, around the knees, they look like skateboard pads. Um, so
Yeah.
is that would you consider that in addition to your current prototype, maybe an alternative solution to the current suit that you've made?
Yes, I will consider that. That's a very good observation. Um, that pads underneath the cushions would prevent further injury if the cushions do fail on the driver.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the for the suit, um, I guess I don't have any more feedback on the suit. I think that's it. For prototype testing, what do you consider that you'll do?
I consider, well, first for the testing of whether or not the suit can detect if you've left the motorcycle upon crash. Um, I would be trying to like detect rapid changes in speed. Um, by
Maybe the use of an accelerometer.
yeah, and as well as maybe some like thermal sensors, since obviously a motorcycle is a heat signature since it has since the engine pretty gets pretty hot when you're using it. Um, I was
So,
also was
sorry, go ahead.
I was also considering for the cushions, trying to just deploy the suit and see if the cushions will activate upon just deployment first, and then after that, trying it in not high speed, but maybe low speed. Uh, um, what's the word? Low speed, like contact.
Um, okay. Uh, One of the problems that I can foresee with this is probably the pads themselves. Also, the fact that airbags use an explosive device to launch. So, in terms of your pads, you might have difficulty finding ways to rig a pad to explode, air quotes used loosely, um, in order to deploy pads. I'm not saying it's not doable. Obviously, there are prototypes or even products out there that do it already. And when it comes to testing, there's no reason why you can't just test everything individually, making sure the pads can making sure a pad can deploy, making sure that your suit durability can withstand abrasive asphalts, things like that. Um, what else? Um, I guess the one other thing would be you mentioned thermal sensors. Um, I don't know if hot days would conflict with your thermal sensors, and I'm assuming you'd have them around the legs, which is where the engine heats up. to detect if a motorcyclist has left the vehicle. Um, but between your thermal sensors and your accelerometer, I would consider your accelerometer to be the more accurate of the two, since you can detect quick changes in speed or um, word or in like the object's rotation. For example, if you're going straight and suddenly your driver now is going right at high velocity, you understand that the driver has been ejected from from their vehicle. So definitely an accelerometer would be best to, in my opinion, to detect any causes for the driver to have been ejected. And yeah, I mean I think that's all I have for testing and construction. Um, just gotta do. Okay. Well, I don't know if you have any questions for me or if you want some more. If you want me to elaborate on things that I've said, or if you're looking to expand on your solution and have questions for me, then go ahead.
Um, no, I understood everything you suggested. I'm definitely gonna look into a lot of this stuff, and yeah, your feedback was very helpful.
Alrighty, I'll just finish filling this out and I guess we're done.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.